Chen Deng had built Kuangqi city to fight against Yuan Shu, which had an immediate effect. The administrator of Guangling Commandery was already highly popular among the people of the Jianghua region at this time. The Chen family had enough money and food to support the cost of building a city, so he chose an important place to build his strong fortress. The waterway in Guangling County, Shou, was the precise direction for the preferred route of Sun Wu's early northern expeditions. But what's strange is that the series of expeditions from the later period of the Three Kingdoms were almost all aimed at the direction of Hefei, not from Shou Guangling. This is because Chen Deng, who was proficient in fortification techniques, built an extraordinary city with a square foundation, Kuangqi City. Many people think that this was his residence after he became the administrator of Guangling, but judging by the square shape of the city, it's more likely that Chen Deng built a purely military fortress on an important waterway route, whilst his county office may have still been in Xiyang County. Once he learned of an enemy attack, he would go to Kuangqi to guard it, which is the equivalent of guarding a dangerous mountain pass. The main local traffic route north was up the Hanjiang River, which led to the Xiyang Lake in the northeast, but entered the Hua River in the northwest, eventually connecting to the grain roads. The important location that all boats heading north had to sail through was the entrance at the south end of Xiyang Lake, which is exactly where Kuangqi City was located. After defeating Lu Bu, Cao Cao's unavoidable war against Yuan Shao was imminent. He needed to strengthen his southern border, whilst his attention was focused towards the north, so he encouraged the Han government to grant Chen Deng an additional appointment, General who calms the waves. Around this time, Chen Deng came up with the idea of conquering the Jiangdong region. He wanted to take revenge against Sun Ce for attacking his relative Chen Yue and seizing Wu Commandery without the authorization of the Han. He had a grand ambition to swallow the south of the Yangtze River, but Sun Ce ordered an attack onto Guangling first. It's said that Sun Ce plotted a campaign to conquer Xuchang and rescue the emperor. At the time when preparations were underway for the military excursion, Sun Ce fatefully went out on a solo hunting trip. Between early 199 and the summer of 200, Sun Ce sent out an army led by Zhou Zhang to attack Chen Deng at Kuangqi Fortress. When the invading force first arrived, their banners and armour blanketed the river, outnumbering the defenders by more than 10 times. They became worried that they would not be able to resist their enemy. Becoming fearful, they advised Chen Deng to evacuate everyone in Kuangqi further inland, away from the riverbank. They hoped that after a few days, Sun Ce's forces would retreat back to their boats, since a naval force occupying land could not long reside there. They would most certainly withdraw and go back across the river, but Chen Deng gave a stern response. "I have been commissioned by the state to defend this land. In the past, Mao and Yuan managed to pacify the Bai Yue in the south and defeat the Di in the north. I may be unable to eliminate evil and villainy, but I won't allow myself to be called a coward. I will lay down my life to serve the state, uphold righteousness, and bring order to chaos. If I am following the will of heaven and the natural order, I will definitely succeed." He then ordered his men to close the gates and defend, presenting weakness. They holed up inside the fortress and refrained from engaging the enemy in battle. Everyone laid low and remained silent until the entire fortress seemed as if it was empty. Chen Deng quietly observed the situation outside the fortress and discovered an opening after Sun Ce's forces had disembarked from their ships. He rallied his soldiers into formation at night, and they all readied their weapons for battle. When the opportunity was right, he led his men out of the south gate to not only attack the enemy, but also block off their retreat route back to their boats. Zhou Zhang ordered his men into a defensive battle formation, but they were struck by a fierce attack. Afterwards, the infantry and cavalry wreaked havoc, as the invaders became utterly terrified. With his own hand, Chen Deng beat the war drums to raise the spirits of his soldiers as they went on to board the boats. The invaders were greatly defeated. All abandoned their ships and fled. Fleeing in all directions, thousands ended up being captured then beheaded by Chen Deng, who led his men in hot pursuit. After losing the first battle, Sun Ce gathered even more troops. Angry and mournful, he prepared to launch another attack. Chen Deng knew that the battle was not completely over, and he didn't have enough soldiers to hold out for long against another attack. He sent Chen Jiao to request reinforcements from Cao Cao and relocated his troops to a military camp some 10 miles away. Here, they set up neat piles of firewood in rows and columns, with a spacing of 10 steps each. At nightfall, the firewood was set alight to make it look like the reinforcements had arrived. At the same time, Chen Deng ordered his remaining troops to pretend to celebrate atop the city walls. Sun Ce's forces were shocked to see the brightly lit camp in the distance, which made them uneasy when they prepared for battle. Chen Deng took advantage of their confusion by leading his troops out to attack them directly. He scored yet another victory, whereafter he beheaded on the order of 10,000. Sun Quan tried to attack Kuangqi city later after Chen Deng had died, but still failed miserably. From then on, Zhang Zhao advised that Wu should have nothing to do with Kuangqi city. Sun Quan never followed Kuangqi's route again, in exchange for decades of peace for the people of Qing and Shou provinces. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.